Welcome back to New World Tank Mastery, where I, Ty James, your flail running, whack-a-mole hitting local tank. I gotta figure out a better intro. Anyways, I'm gonna run you guys through Garden of Genesis today as a tank and show you how to do the pulls, how to do the boss runs, and how to do all that fun stuff live recording, unedited, and here we go. So, Garden of Genesis. Pretty simple. There's nothing. There's like a couple pathways. It kind of takes a long time, so you generally have a few people that don't want to run this on like one of these random pulls or random dungeons, just because it does take a little bit of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring all these mobs right here to this corner, and I'm going to burn all these mobs down here. Looks like one of our DPS is fighting the little sack of corruption over there, or nature little spawn point by himself. Not sure what he's doing. He should be over here with us. So we're going to take down this here archer, and then somebody's going to go grab the sample of concentrated blight. Usually it's going to be somebody who can do quick little rolls, like a light health person. So one person is supposed to go grab it, and it looks like one is. Once they grab that blight, this door opens, and then we move forward. Hope this team wasn't expecting a heavy tank person to go do that, because usually it's a light user that can roll, dodge, roll, and dodge, shuck, jive, dodge a wrench, dodge a ball kind of thing. So once they grab the concentrated blight, the door is going to open, and we're going to come in and defeat Taxodius, the guardian of the nursery. Right, he's just a simple name mob. It's not really like a boss fight or anything. So basic principles, just kind of face him away from your DPS if you have like a melee DPS. Looks like we have a few ranged. And a couple, I guess we do have I don't know. I thought they were ranged, but apparently they are melee. He does tend to like kind of bounce around even if you have the aggro. Not a big deal. He doesn't do too much damage, so you're just gonna keep on burning and jacking Mr. Taxodius up. Or is it Taxodius? Taxodius. I don't know. Whatever his name is. Mushroom head. Grab your trash loot. Once you get that, you're gonna move to the next respawn point on the other side of this little arena. And then you have to cleanse the concentrated blight that that DPS went and grabbed to open the door. Before we had to fight Mr. Mushroom Head. So you're going to make a left down here. Oh, he put a heal bubble on me for some reason. So I'm going to stick with this archer real quick. I'm going to go ahead and pull the aggro to the archer. Because we want the melee close to us so that we can keep the AoE damage on this silly little archer right here. And then I'm going to grab, once that's done, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to grab these guys and get all this aggro. And we're going to burn all these mofos down real quick. Grab your trash loot. Then we're going to cut across over here. And looks like Mr. Karma has a big butt, so he pulled that aggro. But somebody's going to plant the tree right here from the seeds, and we have to defend this tree, right? So I'm going to grab this aggro real quick. I usually like to wait to have to taunt until the tree's been planted, because waves of these angry earth mobs are going to start coming to the tree, right? So we need to taunt them to get them off the tree. We got to protect it. So we're going to burn these guys down. Mr. Prowler here trying to sneak behind the tree, being a bit of a jerk. Right? So they spawn from multiple angles, so I like to just stay kind of tight on the tree just to pick up that aggro and get them off our sweet little sapling here. Quit hitting my tree, man. I'm trying to plant a sweet garden of like what are those like low water succulents. There it is. This is my little succulent garden. Leave my little succulents alone. Let my tree thrive. Let me switch back to my sword and shield so we have some extra damage with leadership. This little archer here is being kind of a jerk, huh? So we're going to gather a branch off of that, and then once we got the branch, we're going to cut back down here. And we're going to search for the purifying flame so we can clear the walls of the concentrated blight. I'm just going to go ahead and pull this aggro real quick. Give my team a little chance to run through. And we're going to come grab this big old guy, Taxi. He's a big taxi driver, apparently. I'll be honest, I didn't really look to see what the... it looks like its nature is like the mutated this week. So, and I'm pretty sure my gear is still set up from my hive run where I had nature on, so... Could be why I'm taking, like, hardly any damage. Or it could be because I'm just, you know, an amazing tank. One of the two. It's probably the gems, to be honest. But that's not why you're here. You're here to learn. Alright, let's grab this soldier. We're going to poke him in the butt real quick. Make him follow us. I'm going to jam up here to this respawn point, pulling this aggro as I go. See if I can whack that guy. And I'm going to keep pulling this aggro all the way into this room. He's going to keep following. I'm going to re-taunt just in case. And we're going to bonk him down. I'm going to move out of line of sight of that archer, so he has to come over here. There we go. And then come in here for this here boss. Mr. Caretaker. So I'm going to get my taunt, face him away from my team. He's kind of a jerk. He's going to start slinging to whoever's the furthest away from him. He kind of does like a rubber band man arms ordeal. Once he targets somebody, he will turn and try to flick his little arm at them. And then in this circle, you want to be on the inside of this circle. Because he... See how Mr. Draper Man's now on the outside? So he doesn't really have anything to do with this fight right now. Because he's way on the outside. So you want to be on the inside. He's going to bounce back and forth. He's going to target somebody. He's going to jump. It doesn't even break your shield. If you're running a sword and board, your stand bar. And then after this jump, he's going to pop back up. Right here. And we're going to take him. And we're just going to burn him down. He's kind of facing towards my team, so I'm actually going to turn him a little bit here. Because I really don't want him facing towards our team. So Mr. Draper Man's got all those ads on him. I'm going to go ahead and taunt. And I'm going to pick up all this aggro here. Just so nobody else gets hit. And then boom. He's done. So we're going to run over here to this purifying flame. Okay. And somebody's going to grab it. It should not be the tank or the healer. Right? Because once they grab it, they can't attack. They can't do anything. Who has the sapling? Whoever has the sapling needs to come light the flame. So whoever grabbed the sapling tree needs to come light this flame. Camera, do you mind holding the flame so that our healer's not the one holding it? Thanks, big dog. So you want one of your DPS to hold the flame because they're not going to be able to attack, they're not going to be able to do anything, and they end up moving super slow when they do. So your job as the tank is escort them safely to the next sets of concentrated blight. So he's going to walk super, super slow. All right, and I'm just going to escort him. If he pulls any aggro, I'm going to take that aggro off of him. But as long as he hugs that wall, he should not pull any aggro. As he gets close to this, it's going to turn this off. And when he gets here, there's going to be a big soldier right here. We're going to go ahead and grab that aggro off of him. I'm going to pull the aggro away from him. I want him just to keep moving, right? So I'm going to keep pulling these guys a little bit further and further, keeping the aggro, letting my team hit them from behind. All right, I'm going to pick up these guys over here. Looks like this guy's pulling. Oh, come on, don't pull that guy. What are you doing, my friend? Bring him here. Don't run away. Just bring your aggro to me. There you go. All right, so I'm going to pull this aggro here. Let him run by. Then I'm going to grab this guy. My team's kind of moving slowly but surely. Looks like he dropped the flame. Did you drop the flame?
Yeah.
So our friend here dropped the flame. So
Hold all the way to the brazier on the other end.
he must not have realized he needs to keep it all the way. I'm just going to clear the trash mobs so he can get here faster. So I'm going to grab all these guys, and I'm basically escorting them all the way through here. So I'm just going to go ahead and start on Mr. Otis, who's like another big little named mob here. He's a toxic individual, it says. All right, so I'm going to hold this aggro here. Looks like I don't have a healer, so I'm going to have to self-heal through this. No big deal. Good thing that we're a tanky mofo. But one heal would be nice. There we go. So it looks like he got his heals in. Justin also had my flail. My mending vortex was up, so when you're fairly tanky, you can kind of solo a lot of these mobs. But if you have like 50 on you, then it gets increasingly difficult. All right, so we're going to finish off Otis here so our team can get rezzed. I'm going to pull him through here. And looks like my team's through, so I'm just going to start moving through the door. And now we're going to jump over this ledge, and we're going to go find this archer down here. Mr. Fulgda. So he will aggro sometimes his friends. That's fine. We're going to defeat them anyways. So I'm just going to hold this aggro. And I'm going to bring them to Mr. Fulgda because he does like to jump around. So we need to get this melee guy close to this archer. Let me grab those little nemesises right here. Get them off of our DPS and healer. And we're going to smack these guys down. Boom, boom. Some more trash loot here. So now we have to go to the Blighted Heart of Genesis. So we're going to come down here, make a right. Grab this respawn point. Then we are going to make a left. We're going to continue walking down here. If you don't have that note, pick up that note. And we are going to enter in this little arena. We're going to wait for our team. Okay, our team is here. So we have the Greenskeeper. A couple big issues with her is she sends out these little balls that do some damage, right? But the big issue with her is she'll put down these rocks, okay? And when these rocks are there, it's important that when she charges up this big green circle, you need to be behind a rock because otherwise she's going to send out a massive damage wave that's just going to jack you up like a mofo, right? And you don't want that. So you're going to be aware of that. I'm just going to go ahead and pot real quick just in case. So she's going to go underground like this. She's going to pop up, do some damage. Range can keep attacking. Melee can attack. After the fourth one, she's going to pop back up right there. And same thing. You just start burning her down. And pretty soon she's going to spawn the rocks, which means she's going into the phase in which she is going to do this big AoE burn, but we may be able to get her down before then. See the rocks right there? Alright, so that circle is going to start to grow, and when she releases the circle, we need to be behind the rocks. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pick her up right here. Did I miscount? I thought that was 4. There she is. Welcome back. Alright, so I'm going to keep her kind of by this rock so my team, if they need to, can get behind the rock. There's a second one there. So we need to hurry up and burn her down, or else she is going to do that. So you're going to get behind the rocks here. So it damages the rock, does not damage you. If you are not behind the rock, you die. It's that simple of a mechanic. It's not very hard. And what that took us all of 15 minutes, and part of that was because I was doing an intro in the beginning. So it's a very easy dungeon. It's nothing to be intimidated about. Garden of Genesis, it can take a little bit of time because you have to worry about that person holding the flame, walking. In fact, we probably would have done that sub 10 minutes if our DPS didn't have to go back and grab the flame. So if you found any value out of this video like the other ones, if you want to know about the other dungeons I've posted, it's in this series, New World Tank Mastery. I invite you to go look at those other videos. Leave a comment below. Let me know if there's other tips and tricks that you like about these certain dungeons as a tank. The more of a community we can make for our tanks, the better overall it's going to be. So thank you for watching. Hit that like button if you got some enjoyment out of this video, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.